This is today's Keene Team Roundtable discussion, a feature of Tom Keene On Demand.
Tom, everybody's talking about The Hangover Part 2. It's not the movie. We're right back where we were last summer, talking about the U.S. economy slowing down, and some people even saying double dip again.
And transitory, that word that we've seen from the Fed, has been shifted to a new use, which is a slowdown transitory, or is it not? I don't know what you read over the weekend, Michael. I would suggest the tilt is that it is not transitory. It's not Japan. It's not storms, that there's something more here. But I don't want to overplay that. There's a real case being stated that this was a bit odd. Ian Shepherdson, one example of that at High Frequency Economics.
Sara was talking with Steve Stanley, and I guess he's one of the more optimistic guys out there, and all of a sudden he's not.
Well, he had to lower his GDP forecast for 2011. He had it at 3.8%. Now he's down to just below 3%. He says, though, it will be transitory, the slowdown. He expects demand to come back in the second half of the year.
Well, so far, it doesn't look like we're getting anywhere.
Yeah, one of the charts I did that's fascinating, and this is for Surveillance Midday, John Sylvia will be on. I looked at the unemployment rate of Detroit and Dallas. I just picked two Ds. I picked a good economy and one struggling.
I bet I know what Detroit looks like.
And it's remarkable if you overlay, in terms of transitory, how people can't move because of housing and the immobility that John Sylvia talks about. And when you look at the different regions of the nation off of the generalizations you and I make, Michael, on the Friday jobs report, it's jobs, I would suggest, is remarkably regional as well. And there's some real pain out there. There's some real difficulty.
Yeah, there's definitely some places you don't want to live.
Yeah, and you were looking at the, I thought this was interesting, you were looking at the oil futures and the expectations for oil going forward, the forward curve. And, you know, one of these temporary factors has been the high price of oil, the high price of gasoline, but it looks like that's here to stay.
Yeah, I mean, the oil curves, Tom, they don't go down below $100, neither Brent or West Texas Intermediate, all the way out. So at this point, what you see is what apparently we're going to have for quite a while.
Yeah, I've been following the 200-day moving average of Brent. Fidel Gate really talking up today the need to look at Brent and not NYMEX West Texas Intermediate. $99.22 is the ascending 200-day moving average of Brent. And I think that's a bellwether when that hits 100. We're like a week away is my guess. Sara, I've got a question here on yen. Have you seen any literature that begins to suggest where they will intervene again off the earthquake? They went down from 81 down to 79.5 or so. No. Up they go with intervention. We're back there, aren't we, at 80.15?
We're almost there. We're not below 80 just yet. Did reach 79.98, as you said. It's been a little different this time around than specifically off the earthquake, tsunami, and nuclear disaster, which drove investors into the Japanese yen, into the strongest yen since post-World War. This time it seems to be more about a risk aversion trade, a dollar weakness trade, and this is something that the Japanese Finance Ministry has pointed out itself. Now, if we do stay below that 80 mark, you can bet that you will start hearing strategists kicking and screaming and wondering when the Bank of Japan Ministry of Finance will intervene.
But I haven't seen that.
No, I haven't either.
I haven't seen a word.
Well, is this transitory, to use a word that somewhere I heard before?
It's out there, yes. Is it? Are you talking to me or Sara?
Yeah, well,
it's Monday.
You're the expert. I'm asking here.
I would say that it is highly correlated to the reaction off of U.S. jobs. And we did see that, Sara, at 8:30 Friday morning with a real move there and also in the 2-year yield as well.
Tom Keene On Demand. Copyright 2011.